Oh my goodness, I got Turn A Gundam again. Hey everyone, Corno Pinoy X here once again, and today we're taking a look at something a little bit different. In today's video, I want to take a look at the Gundam series because recently, Bandai Namco have announced that the Gundam series is going to be getting a new game for the PS4. Now I say it's going to be a new game, but it's not necessarily a new game in and of itself. This is actually an arcade game that's being ported into the PS4, which has never been done before. So to me personally, this is technically a new game. This game is none other than Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On. For those of you that don't know what the Gundam series is, the Gundam series is a mecha anime series that focuses on these mechas known as mobile suits, and more specifically they focus on mechas known as Gundam, which are the titular mecha of this particular series. Now, I'm really excited personally when it comes to Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On, simply because of the fact that for me personally, I don't really think we've had any good Gundam games as of late when it comes to the PS4. We did have 2017's Gundam Versus game, and we also had New Gundam Breaker, as well as Gundam Battle Operations. However, from my personal opinion, these games are a little bit lackluster in terms of content, and for me personally, this is due to the fact that when it comes to most of the mecha on these kind of Gundam games, they tend to be lackluster because the Gundam series is huge in terms of its overall roster of different mecha, different mobile suits, and different Gundams. And most of these games, they tend to be focused solely on a number of different mobile suits from certain series. So it's a little bit of a lackluster content when it comes to the overall amount of mobile suits available for most of these games. Having said that, when it comes to Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On, this is completely different. As you can see as of right now, when it comes to the Gundam Versus game, the Gundam Versus game roughly has about 90 or so mobile suits throughout the different Gundam series out there as of right now. Now, having said that, this is around 90 to 100 mobile suits if you actually include the DLC mobile suits on Gundam Versus. Having said that, however, if you compare this to the roster of mobile suits in Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On, Gundam Versus roster is nothing compared to the roster of Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On. Maxi Boost On has over 180 mobile suits altogether available to you from the get-go when this game releases this 2020. That's pretty much double what we got from the Gundam Versus game that we got back in 2017, and they also have DLC coming up with this particular game, which are mobile suits that were not available on the arcade game originally. So you can see the huge amount of mobile suits available on this game is already dwarfing that of Gundam Versus. And honestly, that's got me really excited. This is a game that culminates all of the different Gundam series that has been available so far into one game, and they could juke it all out in high-octane action, fast-paced gaming, and honestly, this is such an awesome game. Now, when it comes to the general gameplay of Gundam Versus, you get the idea as to how this game will go, and what you know about Gundam Versus, you'll also know when it comes to Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On. The only real difference between these two games is certain mechanics such as the boost dive mechanic from Gundam Versus not being available in Maxi Boost On, as well as the general user interface. So, in terms of the overall gameplay, if you played something like Gundam Extreme vs. Full Boost for the PS3 or Gundam Versus for the PS4, then you'll have a general idea as to how the gameplay goes when it comes to Maxi Boost On. Now, there is actually a gameplay as of right now, I'm really hoping that there is, of Gundam Versus in the background as of right now, and you should be able to see kind of the general idea as to what the game is like when it comes to Maxi Boost On. In fact, I'll do a comparison between these two games just so you have an idea as to how these games are actually quite similar to one another. However, when it comes to something like user interface, general mechanics, you'll see some differences between these two games. And honestly, I prefer the overall mechanics and user interface of Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On. Now, one of the key things about Gundam Versus in general is that when it comes to multiplayer, this is a game that focuses solely on online multiplayer. There's no local multiplayer for this game. If you wanted to do a local multiplayer, you'll need another PS4 and you'll need another copy of the game, and you'll also need to make sure that the player who's using the other PS4 has PS Plus membership in order to play online. meaning that it's solely focused in online multiplayer. However, when it comes to Maxi Boost On, one of the great things that Bandai Namco did is that they added local multiplayer via split screen. Now, the split screen setting is much more efficient in my personal opinion if you want to play with your friends or family. And when it comes to this kind of gameplay, it kind of allows you to basically just chillax, introduce your friends or your family to the Gundam series, and just juke it out in mecha combat. And that to me personally is much more appealing than having someone basically buy another PS4, get another PS4 and another copy of the Gundam game just so they can play online with me. So honestly, the online multiplayer is great to an extent, but having a local multiplayer option is always the best choice in my personal opinion, alongside having online multiplayer. Now, as a final note, when it comes to the DLC, as I mentioned previously, when it comes to Gundam Extreme vs Maxi Boost On, this game will be introducing mobile suits that are not available on the arcade version of the game. This means that once they've released the base version of this game, they will be adding in more mobile suits into Extreme vs Maxi Boost On, which are mobile suits that we would never see on the arcade version of the game. In fact, most of these mobile suits are actually available on the up-to-date version of the arcade, which is Gundam Extreme vs 2. So any mobile suits on the Maxi Boost On arcade is gonna be basically available from the get-go once this game releases, and any mobile suits that's not available will be added as DLC later down the line. They already have one of the DLC mobile suits available, which is Zaku Amazing, which is done by Meijin Kawaguchi from the Build Fighter series, which is not available on the arcade version of Maxi Boost On as of right now. That's already confirmed to be one of the DLCs, and honestly, I can't wait for it to come out in Maxi Boost On. Now that is pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share with you one of the games that I'm really excited about this 2020. Bandai Namco have been hitting my sweet spot when it comes to video games as of right now. We have Blue Protocol to look forward to this 2020. I'm assuming it's going to be coming out this 2020. And now I also have Gundam Extreme vs Maxi Boost On to look forward to this 2020 as well. 2020 is a great time for me to play video games when it comes to Bandai Namco IP, because Bandai Namco are just hitting my sweet spot as of right now when it comes to video games this 2020. Honestly, I'll be doing more content when it comes to Gundam Extreme vs Maxi Boost On once it comes out this 2020. I'll be going through the different mobile suits. There's over 180 of them, so there's gonna be loads of videos of me playing the different mobile suits when it comes to Gundam Extreme vs Maxi Boost On. If you want to look forward to that, keep an eye out on this channel so you can go ahead and catch up on these videos. Now that is pretty much it for me for this video. If you enjoyed these videos, please feel free to leave a like on the video itself, as well as subscribe to the channel so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Gundam content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.